Hi there villagers, today we are making our own HobNobs, chocolate covered. So first things first, 100 grams of softened butter. That was 50 grams exactly. Bang on 100, that's good, isn't it? 100 grams of light brown sugar. Now mine is a mix, so it is a bit of a strange colour and there is some separation. I've tried mixing them together, but they just seem to separate back out again. And 50 grams of golden syrup. Mine comes in a squeezy jar, but if you have a proper old Tate & Lyle's jar and have to do it by subtraction, you carry on. And then mix together until combined, and then we're going to add all the other things that we need to add in. So it starts like this and ends like this. Remarkably quickly, actually. So it's all smushed together. And now we're going to add 125 grams of rolled oats. Half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. Half a teaspoon of salt. And 150 grams of plain flour. The recipe I've got suggests wholemeal, but if you happen to have something else in, use that. Mix together, bring to a dough, portion out, roll into balls, press them down slightly onto baking trays and cook for 15 minutes. Sounds simple enough, doesn't it? Right, we don't need that anymore, so that can go away. So we go from seeing the flour going to be a little on the dry and crumbly side, so the recipe does suggest doing it with your hands, at least in the end, and most of it's got stuck from my spoon. In go the hands. So we're not looking for it to stick enough to roll out, which at least is something. If it really is too dry and crumbly, you could put in a little bit more golden syrup or a splash of milk. Yeah, it's still quite crumbly. I'm going with the golden syrup. Just a little glug. The advantage of it being in a squeezy bottle. Because you want your biscuits to hold together when you cook them. Right, while that's thinking about it, I'm going to go and oil the baking trays. So we've moved to the cooker, just so that I've got a big enough space for all my baking trays. So the mixture is still quite crumbly, but we're going to make a ball, press it together, try and get it to stick. Oh, you can't see, can you? There you go. Anyway, on the baking tray. Because I've not done this recipe before, I have no idea how much it will grow by. So we're going to leave plenty of gaps. And as they only take 15 minutes, we're going to leave them to cool afterwards. And then cover them in chocolate. Because HobNobs are nice, but chocolate HobNobs are better. Right, so that's 3 on that little baking tray. They do kind of warm up a bit in your hands and stick better as a result. I had a bit stuck on my finger in between filming sections, so I had a nibble, and it's very nice. So even if they don't stick, it'll still taste nice, which is always good. Here, that one doesn't want to stick. They're going to look a bit rustic, is the answer. You could always use it as a really nice granola or crumble topping. Probably I would recommend using 100 grams of golden syrup, not the 50, because I've had to add 2 extra glugs in just to get it to vaguely stick together. That last little bit's going to need a little bit more. So we're going to bake in the oven for 15 minutes. See you on the other side. Do wear a pinny, because this is what happens when you don't. So within 12 minutes they have expanded quite well. So now we're going to leave them to go cold, melt the chocolate, and then cover them in chocolate. So they're quite cool now. I'll show you. They vary wildly in size, and I'm going to melt the chocolate. But what I'm actually going to do is melt it in a jug in the microwave, which requires slow 20-second bursts so that you don't go too fast. But because we don't have very many, and they are nice without the chocolate on as well, I'm not going to do much chocolating. Right, I'm going to put them on a plate, and then we'll drizzle melted chocolate after. So 40 seconds in two 20-second bursts. It's made quite thick liquid chocolate. So I'm going to put them on a plate. And drizzle them in chocolate. You could go for decorative or just splodge it on. I'm going for a sort of half and half effect. By melting it in the jug, it means we get a better pouring action. If we did it in a bowl, we'd have to dip the biscuits in, and they don't hold together particularly well. So I think all we'd end up with is a bowl of chocolate with crumbs in it. All right, wait for them to go cold and munch. And now we get to lick the spoon. Enjoy.